The Queen was even shocked. Say, how? How can say a country is going to be given independence? A country we have dealt with, a country we have cheated, a country now we believe that they have come of age to take care of their own affairs. There are some group in that country. I almost say, yeah, dear. So Obama Ghana independence to call it a whole country. Yeah, dear. Yeah, per se is separate from the whole country.
Kelvin Eko Bedu Taylor the history be abetuja chese o chere ye benya fa ahodie de asantefo ye ana omumpese fa ahodie no ebeba ene kwan anaka omupese yete Ghana anasa yete asanteman efri Ghana ho ene chese ensamo a Kelvin Taylor release no da bia o na yerim say o kan sem but we de ensam na waka no e wose me no mienu yakotie Nensemono na records any history na what release no wankasa uhunu de enti a etomre bi a okasa etia asantefo na oma asantefo ehunu say Ghana enye omunkoa edea according to records any proofs na ode abano aha aye strong media mesere say obe share video ya ohwe ama wunua bi ensa etumi aka na owia wa kire wadwen e wo comment section na bibia no etimi aye kama enti quickly Nsamna Kelvin Taylor etimi a release history say one proofs website baby a wokwa ubetimi akwakwa fan na wahu se de all canon enye alo enye bosrimka enye fiction bi enye ono akasa na atena se na wa create bibi no abusua say na ode nsem no etudwa ene ni breaks down
anything that mentality ni she NPP tribuno. Because they feel say they are not part of Ghana. They feel say they are bigger than Ghana. They feel say if you are not in the Ashanti region where Jimmy and then a properly from operate and then any motivation okay say Ashanti region is the most important. Into your bunini, or your koni, or your zimani, or your fantini, or your teni, or your unini, or your Ghanani. The party was built on tribalism. They were selective. They don't recognize anybody apart from maybe a party in the from a free. This is British parliament document. I did not make this up. Now you are getting the picture. Maybe kind of a few of the things that happened in Parliament. UK, December 1956, actually. Now you will now understand why the NPP has brought us here today. Now, the bill which we are discussing today is in itself evidence of the intentions of Her Majesty's government to proceed with a grant of independence of the country as a whole. So Her Majesty, the Queen of England, now that time, she wanted Ghana to be a Ghana as a whole, Gold Coast as a nation. But not National Liberation Council, the Asantehene Council, they wrote to them, our British Parliament, say, we don't want to be part. Afei, so don't listen to these bloggers. They social media, they don't understand what we are doing. And I don't hate Asantehene, but I'm setting the record straight. And to make nobody think Ghana, claim say, independent. I want to afford, you know. Because Kelvin, I will prove to you today. The British, the Queen, she knew she did not have full authority on the Volta region. She knew it because from the documentations, they knew, say, the British did not have 100% control on the Volta region, but there was an agreement. Enti, see, at Ghana, Oman also made the Dekesia Pano, Togoland. I want to follow. They are supposed say, yeah, we are not being diabolic. Say we are not trying to destabilize our democracy. They are supposed to claim their independence. And it's all in British Parliament. This is all in the British Parliament. What transpired? This is 1966 December. Now see, make sure some of the records in some kind of parliament, British Parliament, before the Queen, after 3 months, all issues are Ghana, British for you, free. Now, read baby, I read in the starting now. And I quote, Her Majesty's government do not consider that the partition of the Gold Coast is in the interest of the Gold Coast as a whole or of any of its component parts and cannot abandon their established policy which is directed towards the grant of independence to the Gold Coast as a whole. Almost say, Queen say, San Seminar Santamai Council, NLM for Nekano, or when say a almost selfish interest. It is not in the interest of Ghana. We're British Brunei, British Parliament. These are records. Intina Queen will say, now you're doing Asantehene, any LM4, any side group Kituano, they want their only interest. Abra, the holistic interest of Ghana, no, they don't care. I am not saying this. These are words of the Queen in British Parliament in 1956. 4 months, and 1957. 57, and independence. So this is 1956, December. January 57. February 57. March 7th. And independence. And you need to understand, say, the British Crown Parliament, they were shocked. They were like, Queen, no, these are the Queen's statement. That is why it is quoted. Or say, why should I, at this point, make you people Asantehene, NLM, a nation, and then the rest, the main friend, the Gold Coast? The Queen was like, these people are selfish. Now you are getting the drift. These are facts. These are facts. Oko British Parliament. They are there. Go there and read. Kelvin Taylor, Udima Tama, and Kobe Bia, because I'm showing you the facts. Go and search for yourself. Go and read everything. And then you will understand why we are here. NPP for someone tiasie. Ghana no, I was saying the man nipa kuobi. That is not how it's supposed to be. Ghana is supposed to be governed by all of us. And nitina amanfobi tuaba. They are not voting for the development of Ghana. So ko to obi na sebio ebi mu mo asantime mu no. Omo kasa no mo tuaba for asanteman mensia revenge against Ghana. Asantehene bi, they have a personal issue with Ghana. It is not because they wanted to be independent. And a British force said that be that. Go to be a tam in the name of Ghana. A DBA in the name of Asantehene. So why at this crucial moment? Now, this is what the Queen said. Her Majesty's government are now proceeding with the preparation of the necessary constitutional instruments, having regard to the circumstances of the Gold Coast and the efforts which were made to reach agreement locally. The grant of independence to the Gold Coast is an act of goodwill which Her Majesty's government trusts will be received by the people of the Gold Coast in a spirit of responsibility which will command. So the Queen was like, no, my government, we are ready to hand Ghana, to give them their right, to let them be independent, not some part of Ghana. Enti se nkebo careless anka nipa kuokitu bi mfi LNM eye otu for party that £700 tie no ene nipa kuokitu bi obufi Asantehene Council yebo careless anka Ghana was going to be split. Se enye broni na ono an nyansem ohun say Ghana needs to be Ghana as a whole and a Gold Coaster anka ndem no ka say anka krowe anka peace bi tarim. Now let me show you a few things where British Parliament, I am not making it up. Go and read it for yourself. Remember, make things up. That is what you have to do. In Tuba, honorable members will be aware that the different parts of the country are independent, both politically and economically. Indeed, the North and the South are complementary to one another. To sever would be to cripple. Bronini said, "Omo who said Ghana no, Krobia, ekura omu nyina sebi omudin sawoso free north, south, east, especially the north and the south. Now see, say omu betwa Ghana mu no, not just a Ghana no sebi omudin abro. Or see, to sever would be to cripple. Say omu twa Ghana ni bi ebe ni kura na omu bokuro no bo. Omo bonase na so omo dwirega kuro no sebio omo ma ekuro no ayeden ayebubuani che say literally no person ka kire say senka omo twa Ghana ni bi omo twa Asantehene nko afri Ghana mu ebeye ni kuro a omo say Ghana broni adwiri mu no o say ye twa baby kura ketewa bi say we di omo nka Ghana ho na yama the other part independence na broni na adwiri mu no wa say kuro ni nyina eninti the Queen, Her Majesty said no. Now you are getting it. So na Asantehene Council, NLM no 24 nana, edit 700 pounds a no, any small group no, they didn't want a whole independence. And then I translate here bedru your politics more and the free more pare it be Ghana and him say, oh, Asantehene kwan here, other regions in here. You were 16 regions in Ghana. How can you just stand at one place as a politician and say Asantehene kwan here or more makano? But in the Ashanti region, you were different people from different regions joining the Ashanti region. Without the effort of other tribes in the Ashanti region cannot stand on its feet. It will collapse in a day. I don't hate Asantehene. I am setting the record straight. Mema Ghana for who are the NPP near the Omoyeno. They don't care. They have Asantehene 47 MPs. Development beyond Asantehene, they don't care. Because they feel say they are entitled. I was say Ghana I was say you chat Matimo Hono and no free buy. We're a British Parliament. In Tibokoda, Mombompa Queen now no. Because she loved the Gold Coast. She didn't love some part of the Gold Coast. Listen, Mokoda Mombompa, the queen who died, she loved the Gold Coast. She didn't love some part of the Gold Coast. If she was selfish and she didn't care more about the people who did not have that power down there, she would have said, I don't care, but she was looking at the holistic picture. She was looking at the ideology and the people who are willing to work together as a people, as one. So she was like, I am not going to cut any part of this country and make it independent. I am going to give the country to them. They should build it as a people. And it's a uko wenima. You will see, so say, the partition of the country at this stage in its history, moreover, would not only inhibit further development and progress, but would mean a serious falling back in the standards of life which the country has done so much to achieve during the past 4 years. Into the past few years, the Queen understood. Say, Anka Matimo Honon Committee Asantehene Council ni NLM, Anka the development na ya choke 1957 omobe handi over your independence. They knew the country would have broken down again. The Queen knew. She had been visiting Ghana when she was young, 17, 18 years. She knew that the moment you take a piece out because of some people's selfish interest, you are basically going to collapse the nation. And no na I translate ya bedu NPP ne. So as much as the Queen wasn't the perfect human being, at least she had a good heart. I don't agree. Said the white people enslaved our people, took our gold, took our resource. I don't agree. And I always say it's despicable, and I'll not sit here and say Abrofaya idea, but I can tell you for a fact, she had a good heart. She actually saw Ghanaians as one people. She didn't see them as different people because of their language. And that is the only thing. If this woman had been selfish and very, 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 very evil-minded, but today, it is still showing. NPP minister, NPP Asantehene or say NPP. That is where the whole thing is. So it is not about the development of Ghana. They think, say, they are entitled. And I say they think, some of them in the Ashanti region, they think, say, they are entitled. They ekroni omodia. Inti sebio, se party ni mwa ekra, ne ye pese ye tiyan honda da. Inti mubetuma se ekrono. That is the idea. And it's obitumi soreka say, me sum otumfo, you have the right. But at the end of the day, otumfo share the constitution of Ghana say. So sum otumfo it is right. So it is right. But at the end of the day, Ghana worships the constitution of the Republic of Ghana. Nobody is higher than the constitution of Ghana. And we need to think holistic. We are supposed to stop thinking like children, kids who are always picky. Okay? In the parliament, there are a few things I want to read to you. You will understand where we are. Why we need to come together as a people. We should put aside that silly tribal nonsense. And then I say, Chrono. Now, this is British Parliament. These are the records. Now, already baby a red mark in one now. What here Osla no be kano? And internet Osla better TV so can say, yeah, GMI. Ana refi osla ka kire mo say ye gie mine enye asano kan wan kan track keko asano kan wan kan track keko. There was a reason or say ye gie mine because they have always have that mentality say Ghana ne yomudia Baumia Jinaha, Akufo-Addo Jinaha, yeah, GMI. She was not just saying it. She believes in it because they are entitled. Now, already, baby, I read Mark. What does it say? This is what it says. It says this. Okoto, all right, I hear you. Ochina, Okoto will tell Ghanaians about the contribution of Buzia. Ochina, a year, 6:30 p.m. Ghana time. You can catch Ikoto on Loud Silence TV. Obeba Bechom, the contribution of Buzia. Ebia unim. What Buzia? Ochina meet in Koto 6:30 Ghana time. Loud Silence TV. So Obeba Bechom, the contribution of Buzia. Now you understand Ghana politics. Obaba Juju Machro. Don't miss Inkoto. Obetuma follow on Facebook, Inkoto or Inkoto 101 on YouTube. Free Mind will come in the morning to do more damage. This is why we study Ghana. Do not think so be time will be. We are letting you know the fact. Don't miss tomorrow. Ochina Inkoto on Facebook, NKOTO. Obetshrow the contribution of Buzia in all this. Now you will understand why we are here today. Now, already document where look at where they have marked it red. No? And let me read it from the top. For more than 30 years, Her Majesty's government have administered the trust formally mandated territory of British Togoland as an integral part of the Gold Coast, as it was entitled to do under the terms of the trusteeship agreement. I'm saying for more than 30 years, where British Parliament Hansa Dame Kaichero, British Bruni Nekasano, and Nitina Western Togoland, if we do some time on my charge. If you say, yeah, can Ghana, Oman also, Omakasa Ghana, or some Tio Muyo Mukura, a Western Togoland for. Inti Kandapa in 2020, Esma, National Security Koku, they deserve hearing. We need to hear people out. And I don't condone them separating themselves from Ghana. Never. But people deserve hearing. We need to hear them out. We need to hear, say, if they have a statement, if they have a case. And these are things we do to build a nation. Utie almost story now. This is the Queen's statement. For more than 30 years, Her Majesty's government have administered the trust formally mandated territories of British Togoland as an integral part of the Gold Coast, as it was entitled to do under the terms of the trusteeship agreement. So the British themselves recognized the Western Togoland and Unafono as the integral part of Ghana. And they had Omonkwani, the only people the British signed an agreement with. That before the British can make Ghana a whole nation, they will need to sit with them and then make sure that the agreement, either say Obia fulfill the part and son a bit my Ghana and the Awunafodi in account. So if today somebody is from the Western Togoland and Awunamuno can say, yeah, I'll say tier one. It is all about dialogue. We need to let people understand. We need to sit. Yeah, and send the police ni soldiers because even when you go into the British Parliament document, it is clearly stated by the Queen. They had an agreement with Awunafono. And Awunafono, the only people that the British could not take complete day over because they had to sit. Awunafono Mohamed Yomusa Chokratasi. Now, when you go on and you read, I'll say 2 years ago, Her Majesty government informed the United Nations that after the attainment of independence by the Gold Coast, this arrangement will no longer be constitutionally possible. And the United Nations accordingly agreed last year that a plebiscite should be held to ascertain the view of the inhabitants on the future status of the trust territory. So the British went to UN to tell them, say, yani Awunafo we wo a contract bi a sign. Sa contract yan hwe ye ya sign any independence ma Ghana. Omo individual wan hwe enka omo. Into our society no you solve this problem no because they can come back and tell you there is a contract and that it clearly states say they basically were not under the British full control. These are documents, these are facts. It's for the Kandapa to send Ghanaians to go and kill their fellow Ghanaians because they are stating the obvious. When you go into a British Parliament, it is there. It is because I don't think people in the Volta region today want to be a country. They just want to be heard. They want people to understand that some people cannot sit in the south and boast. They even have more rights to say nobody has that 100% control over them. These are the facts. And it is not about somebody's wearing suit. These are record. These are on the record. British Parliament. Now, when you move ahead, it says this. And the United Nations accordingly agreed last year that a plebiscite should be held to ascertain the view of the inhabitants on the future status of the trust territory. Inti UN for catch British for say monko ho na monni omonko tenase. Omo mo amna awuna memu no na mo so buntie omo. De omo wo kan was ade we hu. Did they do it? Did they overlook it? Did they ignore the views of the inhabitants? Yes. These are the things. We should not suppress people because they want to be heard. We should not deliberately try and make it look like say nipe bi nya Ghana for. And it's if NPP for no I wanna for nya Ghana for. Omo Ghana for. Omo no metuma say Ghana's democracy if they want to. And the United Nations cannot fight them because the documents are there. So for these people to hold their tongue all these years and admit to say, even though these are clear violations of our rights, we still believe say we can work with Ghanaians. Now, we need to applaud them. We need to give them that respect because these people, they can at the end of the day destabilize our democracy. Yes. So we are not supposed to sit in Ghana and feel say nipe bi Jimmy. Nipe bi moi, nipe bi. No, we are supposed to see or be a contribution to the development of this country. Now, who read the other paragraph? I'll say this plebiscite, which was held under United Nations auspices in May 1956, resulted in a clear majority vote in favor of the union of the territory with an independent Gold Coast. And in July of this year, the Trusteeship Council passed. So basically, there was an agreement. So nobody should have a problem with Awunafono. Because even Asantehene, I don't want to say independence because so now Asantehene person ti omo ho. It's in Ghana today, omo more case Awunafono. But who are the people who are most one amuna yatata omo Ghana more Awunafono. Yembu omo person be nipa. JJ Ron so winning 1992. Now go to a strategy be ati Awunafo free Ghana ho. Yes, he was the president. He could have made some people petition him. So they are being disrespected and come to my president. So, I don't know anything. These people brought a petition to parliament that they are not part of Ghana. Then Albeka, but he did not agree to that. Even though he knew his people have grievances, he was like, "Let us still build." How do you come to power and you can power? What's smart soldier for Makoba on a foot too because they want to be heard. Today you have jailed about 15 of them. I didn't because they want to be heard. Now can the power be due by there? Obicho Obano Boni Trimutu Abelde, Edian Kwasiamine and Mochichenessano. And as we speak, some people have been jailed because Kandapa and NPP for say, Omiya for they want to overthrow akufo-addo. Jimmy. Moya mwa. Munyenipa. Sani a chichire mine. Now just as uncle from the jail illegally, no. Matwa ebe omode. A day will come. Mabechi to Kandapa to one of a bull Trimutu. So we jailing papa. You have destroyed their lives. Omo lives. Because of politics, stupidity, jiminti, we have destroyed people's life. Now, I'm reading a debin chro. Me chamo history no. It is almost a NPP for Kasasa, NPP for SR, deliberate. They don't regard Ghana's independence. As Asantehene Bido, they do not regard it. Results in a clear majority vote in favor of the nation union of the territory with an independent Gold Coast. And in July of this year, the Trusteeship Council passed a resolution noting that the will of the majority of the inhabitants was for union with an independent Gold Coast and recommending, and I quote, that appropriate steps be taken in consultation with the administration authority of the termination of the trusteeship agreement for the territory to become effective upon the attainment of independence by the Gold Coast. So the idea was simple. Fine. We will come together, even though we can say but because of unity, Yenya eba together. By any hour for the person what say yenya eba together krane yebeye kuro ba kwa. Our due respect and our due was a Ghana de mine or some de maomo. It is a record. This is the British Parliament. Yenya independence we be seen there. We are even telling them so omu Togo for Mahmoud ba omi Jimmy for ebe year in 2015 or say I wanna for ni free Togo de beto aba abra no ba omi onya Ghana ni.
Ejina Asantefo epese ye Asante nko a nation nanka enkaye ne de yenko so a emfre won Gold Coast said ye Kelvin Taylor etibi a release no ti etomre bi a utimi tie ne nsem bi ne ade a utimi se o hete Asantefo utimi kan nsem bi etia Asantefo pa na eno ena ma ye di akire se ade ni reason ana ne nyina so ene sei abusua chirimu no ena ode aba no ewa but baby a wahwe abedru no minim se utimi hwe ni nyina de a ene obeti ase pa eno nti ena Kelvin Ekobedu Taylor etomre bi a utimi eso edisi Asantefo eso no na Kelvin Ekobedu Taylor nsemo a wa release de afa kane a yebenya fa hodie de Asantefo ye anaka won de opese ye te won ho efree Gold Coast eho anasa ye te won efree Ghana eho nanka won ko a eye oman no ode aba emunchiremu aba ne de enti a NPP fo no Asantefo no fi se NPP ye omudia ne nyina no ode records ne nyina aba aha eye strong media be se obekye wadwen e comment section na owie so a wa share video ama unua bi ensa atumi aka na meka wo se eye time heba measure na aso yasene se onumato na wuntumi enedie wako hospital doctors ese wonya malaria wadra ene time heba measure na bibia no etimi aboa ama wo ho atɔ na obetimi edidi atenam asankwan awoso uti amohunu se aduane ede wonya dofo bi pese wo kyenade stronku bi a ebe so nani a dane da de me recommend ema wo ene se ma prof art enjuno onfa pencil enye ne portrait emfa ema wo na odi akwache sa odofi se eye adwumakuo ankrankre opese openti ofie hospital chese wadwuma baby bia eno ansa wafre prof art obo adwuma ewo Ghana ha chese enye asempeto baby a obefrom bia so no ombeba na omu abeboa wo na bibia no aye kama edin no e de AJ meda wase na mama wo mo ene hwe